Welcome back to the Prep Lab. This is math lesson 403 in trigonometry, and it's the trig functions, or the graph of a sine wave, a tangent, and a cosine. So let's take a look at the board. When the function of x is equal to the sine of x, we create a sine wave. Here's a picture of a sine wave. Sine of x when x is less than 2 pi, when greater than 0. A sine wave normally has an amplitude of 1. Amplitude equals 1. And the period of a sine wave is 2 pi. That's what it looks like in the xy plane. I'll get into some more detail once I go over this, which is a tangent function. The function of x equals the tangent of x. I've only ever seen this once on the ACT and never on the SAT. And you need to know that tangent waves look like this, or tangent curves. The tangent has an amplitude that is undefined because it goes on literally forever in the positive and negative direction. It has a period of pi. The tangent changes exactly at pi because as it goes around the unit circle, the tangents are parallel to each other, unlike the sine and cosine, which change all the way around. Let's take a look at the sine wave, or the graph of a sine function, in detail. F of x equals a sine of x, a sine of b, times the quantity x minus h plus k. Each of these has a function. We already talked about amplitude. A is equal to the amplitude. Whatever is multiplied by the sine function is the height from the center line to the graph. That's the amplitude. It's half of the minimum to the maximum. The b coefficient here sets the period. So period is equal to 2 pi divided by b. Oh, also forgot to mention, amplitude is the absolute value of a. I could have a negative value, but amplitude is only measured as the positive. Once again, b sets the period, and the period is a complete wave. Peak to peak, max to max, 0 to 0. Period is equal to 2 pi divided by b. So the larger b is, the smaller the period is. The smaller b is, the larger the period is. What about h and k? H is the horizontal shift. It goes left and right. K is the vertical shift. It goes up and down. It moves the wave up and down. So what do we have? Let's review. We have A, the amplitude. B determines the period. H determines the phase shift, left and right. K, up and down. And that's lesson M403, trig functions.